Hello and welcome to FD Conversations. This is our very first session of FD Conversations on behalf of Florida Design. I'm Daffhne Nicolopoulos. I'm the editorial director of Florida Design, and I have with me Allison Paladino, interior designer, who's going to be answering some questions for us today. Welcome, Allison.
Hey, Daphne, it's so nice to be here with you today.
Amazing.
I'm your inaugural. That's great.
Yes, we're going to have some fun today, definitely. So today we wanted to talk a little bit about how interior design is changing, given all the changes in our world that just seem to keep coming and coming. And of course, every industry across the board, I feel, has been impacted in some way by everything that's happening. Tell me how it has impacted your business specifically and interior design as a whole.
So first of all, I would say, as a business owner, working with my employees to make sure that we're all safe. That's been really important. Fortunately, my office space is big enough. We all have separate offices where we can keep our distance. And I think it's really important, now that things are opening, that's fabulous news, but I think people are tending to let their guard down, which I'm guilty of it too. But at the same time, when we go to job sites, we're trying to wear our masks, keep distance from everybody, which is really difficult. I'm Italiano. So,
You want a hug.
I want to hug people, exactly.
I'm the same way.
There you go. So, I think you have to be smart about it. I think, also a prime example is, would you believe as COVID was hitting, we got a New York job signed on?
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, you talk about, it's been a challenge, but it came to mind, Zita and Lauren from my office are flying to New York, and I booked them a first class so that they had more space in their seats. And I made it clear with the client that they want to protect my employees as well, obviously. Driver that picks them up at the airport, take them straight to the hotel, order food, straight to, they're going to be at the D&D. And as you probably know, the design centers are doing just one-on-one. One client is allowed in at a time, which I think is so smart. And gloves, to wear gloves and the masks. It is crazy, Daphne, to think of what's going on, and we're experiencing this in our lifetime. It's just crazy, but I think, so we're dealing with it, and we have to be realistic and we have to be careful.
No, absolutely. And, obviously look at us right now. We're having this conversation on Zoom. I imagine you have to do some of your consultations on Zoom as well. Is that the case?
Yes, absolutely.
And how's that going?
So we've already done 2 presentations, big presentations through Zoom, which kind of leads to your next question. I'm going to show you some examples, but yeah, it's crazy, but it's working. It's working. The thing that I miss the most, again, is the human interaction, to be with someone. Exactly. What Zoom does, instead of an email, as an email can get misconstrued or misunderstood. So at least Zoom, you can look at each other in the face and, go through anything you need to. If there are problems, talk through it, whatever.
Exactly.
So yeah.
It's starting to feel weirdly social to be on Zoom.
Oh my God, so normal. We talk about that. A buddy of mine was telling me he's got a long distance relationship and they cook together and then they have together. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound too intimate to me. What are you going to do?
That's true. Exactly. But are you finding that people are going to be spending more time at home going forward?
I do. I definitely do. It's really interesting. It's not only clients, but it's friends of mine too that are sharing with me that they're amazed that they can get the amount of work done at home. It's funny, lots of times I would stay at home rather than coming into the office, just finding that I have a little bit of ADD. So my office would probably say I have a lot, but they're not here right now. So for me to be in a quiet place and alone, I tend to get a lot more work done. It's funny, I've become a sailor in the past 4 years, and we bought a boat a year and a half ago. So we're sailing a lot. So even before COVID hit, I was doing a lot of work remotely, which was working great between my design projects and my product design. And I'm finding that I'm so much more productive this way. And it's funny, now I'm hearing that people have had to deal with this. They're finding the same thing. So I think going forward, I think people, our clients are really going to think long and hard before they renovate a space or create a new home. It's going to become a factor. I really do think so. And why not? It is nice to be in the office, and it's nice to have that interaction, but I think people, not necessarily, I wouldn't think they're going to be in the office as much. So this is going to be different for us, a turning corner.
I agree, and I agree with you about being more productive when you're not bombarded with with all the meetings and everything else in the office. It would be nice to have like some sort of hybrid of the two, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, absolutely, and I think it's gonna work. I'm optimistic. It's already working, so yeah, we'll again deal with it as it comes, like you said.
Sure. Are you seeing more of a demand for home offices at all?
We normally do a lot of home offices, honestly. It's usually a den office combination. So that's not anything different. You know?
Yeah. No, that's true. I mean, I've seen some of your home offices and they're spectacular. Are people requesting maybe different things because they're going to be spending more time in their home offices? Are you doing anything differently to accommodate this sort of work from home scheme?
What comes to mind, a lot of my clients also have offices, and it's usually the women have an office right in there. They have a desk right in the kitchen, ironically. And I think that's going to change because privacy is needed, or quiet time is needed, because people are going to be spending more time. And that goes both ways. Maybe an office space is part of another space, originally. And that's probably going to change for more privacy because there will be more business at home. So you'll need that. And, the quiet time too. If you're doing Zoom, you don't want to be distracted.
Exactly.
With a grandson opening a door or something, or just running into the space, or the noise in the background. I think it's probably it's one thing that I've definitely noticed, and I think we'll be seeing more of that.
Sure, more of a focus, definitely. And would you say there are any emerging trends in home design right now? For example, are people coming to you with requests to sort of create healthier home environments, or to go green in some way? I mean, have things shifted in that regard?
I think as far as dealing with the pandemic that we're dealing with, people are definitely more conscious. It's funny. You have certain clients that have such rules that everyone must take off their shoes when they, before they walk in their front door. And the reality is, when you think about it, we should all do that, because God only knows what's on our shoes. But I think that's going to change, even coming home, especially people that are exposed to more people. I think a powder room that has a shower, or a bathroom that's close to the garage, where someone could shower, get rid of their clothes, a laundry room next door. I think that's going to be important. And a laundry room, of course, with a sink where you can wash your hands and sanitize.
What do you think about color. I wonder if people's attitudes are going to shift toward more color, because color supposedly makes you happier, it lifts the spirits. And if you're at home more and, when things around you are, a little bit of a downer, I mean, this tends to elevate your mood. Are you seeing anything along those lines?
It's funny, Daphne, when I read that question, it's something that we do automatically. If I see a client that's creating a room that's drab, I'll be the first one to point that out to them. I mean, there's one thing about creating a serene room, but nobody wants a drab room. And I bet that many designers like us go through the same thing with our clients. And the other part of our wheelhouse, I think, when creating spaces is we're very careful about patterns, too many patterns and too much clutter. It's funny, again, even before this pandemic hit, people want calming spaces. And a lot of these homes are open spaces now. We don't have the separated living room, dining room, or formal spaces. They're big open spaces. So I think it's part of a designer's job to lead the client to happy spaces. I would like to think that our we get two compliments on our work consistently. They're clean and simple spaces, and not too much pattern. They're comfortable and inviting, and I think that's who I am as a person. I think it represents us, and I would hope that that's all the rooms that we create for our clients.
Right. Yeah. Then no need to enhance it if you're already doing it, right?
Right.
So earlier you mentioned about laundry rooms sort of becoming enhanced and things such as that. Are there any other parts of the house that you think are becoming priorities because of kind of this new awareness?
So, I mean, I do think that the whole kitchen, breakfast room, family room, that seems to be where the family lives.
Exactly.
And now, if you're going to have more, people staying at home, it's important, because I'm also hearing that it's funny on the news. One of the funniest things is the cats and dogs, what they're thinking. Hey, what are you doing spending so much time at my house? Yeah, these are spaces and that they're going to be spending more time in, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're bigger spaces or maybe they're going to be more dens for kids or playrooms for kids, even older kids, not just younger kids with a ton of toys, so that the family has a little bit of separation, but and I'm just thinking through this. Again, I think of a new house or renovating a house, space planning a house for a new client, for a new job. Yeah, I could see that trend happening. But again, even before the pandemic, there's definitely been a switch in our projects from formal to less formal, and families being together, which that's fabulous. I love that.
Oh no, absolutely. I think it's wonderful. And obviously the kitchen being sort of like the heart of the house, that's been around forever. I mean, that's how people live. And they also live outdoors a lot. And now, with sort of social distancing, not necessarily with the family itself, obviously, but now people are having, driveway parties and, whatever it takes to actually see a human being, other than the people you see every single day. And so outdoor spaces are obviously very important, but this is Florida. We're already there. I mean, we've been doing that for a long time.
Right, exactly. Sure. Absolutely. I think too, like you said, if you have people over, the outdoors is even better, and being able to spread out a bit. Yeah.
I know what you mean. But so, just kind of as a final, a wrap up question,
Yes.
what do you think will ultimately be the impact of this pandemic and everything that's happening around it on interior design? Do you think we're going to see any permanent changes, or is this kind of like, okay, we'll just kind of do this way and then everything is back to normal?
Yeah, it's a good, it's a bit of a crystal ball question. I do think it'll be interesting to see. I thought about this commercially first. You know, you see all these plexi glass dividers going up. And I wouldn't be surprised if those stay up. I could be wrong, but I do think it's a good idea. The little ones are funny because I find myself to the side of those things, but yeah, when they're big enough to protect the person, because these people that are exposed, you know, during their work day, I think it's really important. So residentially, that's hard. It's like I said, I'm dealing with it with my family, and it's really hard. I'm gonna leave it with, I sincerely hope not.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I do think that it's going to have an impact for us, like I said, ultimately in space planning, how people want to, from the outside in, when they come from outside and coming indoors, I think it's going to change for us a bit.
Sure, those transition spaces. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, you know, it's, maybe we'll call it more mindful design in terms of, you know, in terms of that.
Yes, I agree completely. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Allison, what a pleasure to talk to you today. This is so much fun. I always have fun talking with you. And thank you so much for taking the time today.
You bet.
Okay, excellent.
You do, Daphne. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, everyone for watching.
Stay healthy and safe.
And you too. Thank you
Okay.
to everyone for watching. This is Daffhne Nicolopoulos with Florida Design. Until the next time.